There are certain spiritual teachers in a conscious community that actually teach that individuals that are composed of what we call nine ether, which are the amalgamation of all noble gases combined, aren't what you call human, all right? And that couldn't be farthest from the truth. When you break up the word human, hu means a form of light, and man is a short for manifest. This means that a human is basically light that manifested itself into physical form. It may not look like it, but we're actually all bioluminescent. The only reason we can't see it is because we're only privy to a very minute percentage of the electromagnetic spectrum, referred to as the visible light spectrum, which is 0.0035%. And that's all we can actually see. We don't even see a full 1% of the electromagnetic spectrum. But if you could see everything, if you can see the microwaves, if you can see the radio waves, then you would be able to see that we're actually balls of light that are encapsulated in these corporeal vessels. When we delve into the 5 root races, the first root race cosmic family was the Polarians, and the Polarians were composed of pure Ethereal cosmic light. All right, they predated the Lemurians, and these beings were pure light. Polarians were located on a sacred land referred to as Polaria, which is also viewed as the land of the gods. This is also referred to as the North Pole today, and this is where that pole word comes from. It comes from Polaria, all right? And this is also why they turned it into a frozen wasteland with polar vortex technology. I made you aware that Tiamat initially is a tropical planet. All right, cold climates, these cold climates and temperatures aren't natural to the planet. It's not organic. This is something that was constructed in order to lower the frequency on this realm. Now, the Polarians were the first etheric race to inhabit the planet, and they were also referred to as Chayas or shadows. After the Polarians, then came the Hyperboreans, which was another race of etheric cosmic beings. They didn't have physical bodies like we do today. And it's important to know that we all stem from these 5 root races, all right? So again, you have the Polarians, which were composed of pure Ethereal cosmic light. Those that have a soul, 9 times out of 10, at one point in time, you were a Polarian. Then a Hyperborean, all right? You were probably a Lemurian, or we existed through multiple incarnations. Now, the Lemurians, they became a little bit physical. They started having physical bodies, but they were more light than physical. Then after the Lemurians, then came the Atlanteans, which were then pure physical. All right, these beings embodied pure physicality, but they were colors like green and blue and things of that nature. What most are unaware of is that in essence, we are pure light beings. And the only reason we have these physical bodies is because we substantially fell in consciousness. But as we ascend, as the frequency begins to elevate, we're moving back to those light bodies. We're actually stepping back towards the Polarian and the Lemurian stage. Now, one of the ways they substantially weaken our light body is by attacking our melanin. Melanin absorbs all forms of light, all right? Gamma rays, radio waves, infrared waves, microwaves, solar rays, lunar rays, all forms of light melanin absorbs. It's the cosmic computer that facilitates the interior as well as the exterior functions of our body anatomically. In fact, this is actually one of the main reasons they attack the pineal gland, because the pineal gland's primary job is to secrete melanin. This is actually why the pineal gland is referred to as the seat of the soul, cosmic family. This is actually where your Polarian or Hyperborean or Lemurian light body is waiting. It's in the pineal gland. And this is why it's very important that we begin to take care of the pineal gland, and I wholeheartedly recommend decalcifying and activating it. Listen, they know that pure water, clean nutrition, exposure to sunlight, and proper breathing, as well as silence and darkness, are all things that stimulate the pineal gland for healthy melanin production. This is why they contaminate the irrigation systems in drinking water with mind-forgetful agents and neurotoxins like fluoride, as well as poison our food with bioengineered, genetically modified organisms. This is also why they block the sun with chemtrails that contain lead, cadmium, mercury, and aluminum, as well as spray airborne pathogens and bacterial strains to affect our prana. And this is also why they put deceptive LED lights around us everywhere. When we sit in complete darkness, it actually amplifies melatonin and produces more neuromelanin from dopaminergic neurons. This is why I recommend decalcifying and activating the pineal gland with Ayurvedic herbs like Haritaki, which contain tubulagic and gallic acids, which are phenolic compounds that literally have the ability of moving past the blood-brain barrier to activate dimethyltryptamine. This is why the deity Buddha is seen holding Haritaki. All right, Haritaki is literally referred to in Ayurvedic culture as the king of herbs. I do have the Third Eye Awakening Haritaki capsules available on Holistic Remedies link in bio. Ginkgo biloba is another phenomenal herb for its brain boosting ability. It's literally about 250 million years old, and it's been said to have the ability to decalcify and activate the pineal gland, as well as combat things like macular degeneration and increase vision. It also works for things like tinnitus, which is ringing in the ear. I do have the Ginkgo biloba capsules available on Holistic Remedies link in bio. Tyrosine is another phenomenal component that will stimulate the pineal gland and promote healthy melanin production. It's an amino acid that produces neurotransmitters like acetylcholine, norepinephrine, epinephrine, as well as dopamine. Tyrosine is literally the building block of melanin. I do have the tyrosine capsules available on Holistic Remedies link in bio. Now, in conjunction with these herbs, I recommend incorporating things like grounding and sun gazing to amplify your electromagnetic aura field. Also very important that we begin detoxing the metals out of our body. I highly recommend utilization of chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is the substance responsible for giving plants its green pigment. It contains an organic fat substance called mycelium that wraps around unwanted materials such as the lead, cadmium, mercury, aluminum, and things of that nature that are typically emitted from chemtrails, as well as microplastics, to expel them from your blood. The purpose of the heavy metals that are placed in the chemtrails as well as our irrigation systems is to get in our blood in order to interrupt the melanogenesis process and to prevent light cosmic ionizing particles from actually soaking into our melanocytes and converting into energy. When there's toxic metals in there, it pretty much disturbs that process. Remember, melanin is a conductor of electricity. So whenever you have toxic metals in your body, instead of that electrical output sparking outwardly, it sparks inwardly, which causes things like heat exhaustion. Detox 19 is another very powerful heavy metal cleanse that I have available on Holistic Remedies. This is a zeolite that's known for its ability to decalcify and detoxify the pineal gland by extrapolating the toxic metals from your neurophysiology. 100% organic and also contains NAC, aka N-acetylcysteine, which amplifies things like glutathione, making it an antioxidant that eliminates free radicals. I do have the Detox 19 heavy metal cleanse available on Holistic Remedies link in bio. What they don't want us to know is that once we awaken the seat of the soul, this is when we begin to recalibrate and rekindle our ancient primordial cosmic light bodies. All high quality herbs and metaphysical products for spiritual elevation, click the link in my bio and visit Holistic Remedies, your extension to ascension.